So welcome to Pitch Day for 500K. My name is Leith Martin, and I'm Jeff Saling's stand-in for the evening. If you see Jeff, tell him that there was a good-looking somebody doing the intros last week. So just to get him riled up. So we have two great companies pitching today. We have Alex from Plexi, and we have Jay from Reply. And these two companies, we see probably about 20 to 25 companies for every company that actually gets to pitch. So give you some idea of how many companies that we see on a regular basis. We host these pitch days every 2 weeks on a Wednesday. And just for general information, Startup NV is the statewide nonprofit startup accelerator program and incubator. It operates 7 free entrepreneurship programs supported by government grants and corporate sponsorships. In addition, receives additional financial support from donated equity for some of the companies that participate in the accelerator program. These fortnightly, Jeff will be proud I used that word, these fortnightly pitch days offer companies the opportunity to join the accelerator program with an investment from Fund NV, from the Investor Syndicate, as well as the state's SSBCI program. In 2021, or beginning in 2021, about 13 million have been invested in 27 startups through this program. Those startup investments have now grown on to be worth a little over $45 million just 4 years later. And 35% of that capital has been returned to the original investors, which makes it an incredibly impressive performance under such a short period of time. The legal disclaimer, today's pitches are for investment from our legally compliant venture funds and syndicates, restricted to SEC accredited investors, Nevada certified investors, and while we welcome the community to participate and view and for educational purposes, these pitches are not a general solicitation for investment. Just a couple other things. Special thanks to the City of Las Vegas, Clark County, the Governor's Office of Economic Development, the EDA, and the USDA who help support programs like this. Pretty good? Alex is up first from Plexi.
All right. What if I told you that there is a $111 billion market where more than 80% of critical projects fail? Where mid-sized companies face $3.5 million costs and wait for 18 to 36 months to get the results, and there's nothing to show for them. A market that, despite all of that, doubles in size to $220 billion in the next 5 years. I'm Alex Cianuri, CEO of Plexi. I'm here to talk about data management, the industry that provides plumbing for the modern-day information-driven world. We'll talk about the problems within the industry and the solution that we're bringing to the table. A solution that offers 87% cost reduction and 6x faster implementations. We're positioned to capture a massive market opportunity. First, let's start with a problem. So right now, there's 220,000 mid-market count companies that are trapped. They're trapped between two ends of the spectrum. On one end, they can either use Excel for all of their data needs and analysis needs, or they can couple together data from 6, 10, 15 sources using 8 or more separate tools. One is for process orchestration, another one is for data integration, another one for quality, for metadata management, for data governance, for master data management, and so on. It's like building a house with 8 different contractors that don't talk to each other. Here are the numbers for mid-sized companies from Gartner that ran a study last year. 18 to 36 months implementations before companies see any value, if any at all. $3.5 million average total cost over 3 years, 80% failure rates. Here's what matters in the AI world: 85% of projects fail, initiatives fail. Companies spend millions and millions of dollars on artificial intelligence, and they can't even get their data right. These are figures that only account for the explicit costs. There are implicit costs, opportunity costs, etc., that we're not even counting in these numbers. So we didn't just build a data platform. We built data management from scratch, and we built it specifically for mid-market companies. So the projections that you see on the screen, they're not projections, they're proven results. We offer 87% cost reduction to our clients, from $3.5 million to $450,000 of TCO in over 3 years. We offer six times faster deployments that go down from 18 to 36 months to 3 to 6 months. 85% success rate versus the industry's 20% rate. How do we do it? 3 pillars to our solution. One is the metadata-centric architecture that allows us to scale in both delivery and operational phases. This layer serves as the central nervous system in our architecture, and it is what enables us to contemplate in the next step of our product's evolution, which is AI data workers. These are virtual data and DevOps engineers working 24/7, automating 70% of the manual work. 2, there's everything as code architecture, which is declarative, testable, repeatable, and we deploy in hours what takes over weeks for other implementations. Thirdly, there's a collection of industry templates and connectors that we built over the years and within our implementations. For example, a hedge fund doesn't start from zero. It starts with dozens of pre-built connectors and customizable templates to bootstrap their data platform. Now, let's talk about the market a little bit. So Gartner's documenting what they call great convergence. These 8 tools that I mentioned earlier, they're converging into unified platforms that they call convergent data management platforms. We're at an inflection point now that happens once every 20 years or so. Some of the numbers. Today, CDMP is a $20 billion market projected to grow at 20% rate to $50 billion by 2030. Our mid-market segment is projected to grow from $5 billion within that universe to $27 billion, all over the same time frame. What matters is that the giants such as Snowflake, Databricks, Microsoft, they're all chasing Fortune 500 deals. However, there's 200,000 other mid-market companies that are largely invisible to these giants or irrelevant to these giants. There's 31,000 financial services firms, 36,000 healthcare organizations, 32,000 manufacturers, which by the way are growing at 61% rate after the reshoring and the CHIPS Act, 30,000 retail technology companies, etc. Every single one of these companies needs what we're building. Nobody else is building what we're doing specifically for them. The realistic target here is $100 to $150 million revenue by 2030. And that captures just 3/10 to 0.5% of the market, 600 to 800 customers out of 200,000. So our model is predictable, it's scalable. So we have SaaS platform, which we're projecting to bring in $25,000 per year per license. Implementation costs, $20,000 per year. Enterprise support, $120,000 per year. So together, that's $165,000 per client on average. And the unit economics here are that we projecting $70,000 acquisition cost per client at scale. Lifetime value is $900,000 per customer. Long-term value to CAC ratio is 8.8x. Platform margins are 35 to 40%. And these are all conservative calculations based on five-year lifetime span, where in reality, the stickiness of these products usually is a lot higher, and we can project far higher lifetime spans. So even if we hit one half of our targets, it's a massive return. I'd like to share some of the real implementations we've done. For example, a private equity firm managing $3 billion across 40,000 assets, all done in spreadsheets. Excel could not handle it, especially growing over time. And I think a lot of the people in the audience will relate to that. If their investor relations, for example, their investor relations team would take 8 days to answer typical requests for information from investors. They would spend 140 hours of monthly on analytics. Investor inquiries were very long to answer, like I said. So we delivered a solution for them, and that's a complicated case. We delivered a solution for them in 7 months. Data management dropped from 100+ hours monthly to under 10. Investor response time went from 8 days to the same day. They scaled from 40,000 assets to 200,000 assets over the next 3 years. And they went from $3 billion under management to $15 under management. Something that would have been impossible if they continued managing data in Excel. All with the same team size, by the way. Another case, technology-focused hedge fund, which launched with $1.4 billion in under management in 2022. They needed institutional infrastructure immediately. Implementing using traditional vendors packages was calculated to be 18 to 24 months. Went live in 2 months with 6 initial data sources. And then today they manage, that's 3 years later, they manage $4.5 billion. They have 25 sources that integrated into their warehouse, into their environment. When they need a new feed, we integrate it in 1 to 5 days instead of weeks. Their data science team grew from 1 to 5 professionals without any infrastructure constraints and is able to concentrate on their core mission, which is to find investment opportunities and not to cleanse data and do data engineering, which is what we do. Unsexy, but important. Third case, Nightlife Entertainment Group, $60 million in revenue, 11 venues, 220 hours spent monthly on data integration from 8 separate systems, 14 Excel workbooks, 30 sheets each. Besides that, they were spending 25 hours every year to roll over their Excel sheets, and then 20 hours on top of that every month to get consulting services to manage all of that. By the way, the same consultant that serviced their competitors. So we implemented Plexi with a custom mobile-first interface, which we built for them in 2 months. Data management time dropped by 95% from 220 hours to 10, under 10 actually. They transformed, very importantly, they transformed data management from a cost center to a revenue-generating partnership model, which they sell to their competitors. So they scaled their venue acquisitions, which they're actively engaged in without operational constraints, and that was an important metric for them. So you might ask, what stops the Databricks of this world from crushing you? That's very simple. It's economics. While the average cost of their solution, the nominal cost of their solution, I should say, to their customers is about $120,000 a year for a mid-sized company, the actual total cost of ownership runs well over $1.2 million per giga-ohm study.
Alex?
Ours is, yes?
Yes, you're 15 seconds over.
Okay.
All right, so good pitches, good pitches. Thank you for doing that. Just a couple reminders. If you're a potential investor, there's also several for-profit funds that you can participate in. One is Fund NV, one is 1864. The Sierra Angels is also, and just if you are an accredited investor, there's an angel conference that's hosted every year that kicks off at the beginning of the year. And they'll actually take you through the entire process to train you to be an angel investor. Everyone throws in $5K, and at the very end, you get to decide which company gets the money and invest in the company, right? So it's a great way to learn about angel investing. In terms of access to information, you can go to Startup NV's website. You can click on the newsletter, join the newsletter. You'll get all the information there. Also, if you follow Startup NV on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and many of the other places, all the information is posted on, especially on LinkedIn. Thanks to Jay and Alex for presenting today. Thank you very much. And then we'll see you in 2 weeks when 2 more startups present in 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
And check out what a Nevada Certified Investor is. A Nevada Certified Investor is also eligible to participate in Angel NV and learn how to invest in startups. See ya.